Boom. Okay. This is our
Okay.
final thoughts
Final
for
thoughts.
possibly the best Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 2, bro, in 2007. Okay. This is a big deal. Brand new day is tomorrow. Marcel and DJ Burger watch it tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. We need to document our thoughts. This is important. This could be a very big shift in the cinematic universe of Spider-Man and his credibility in the movie. Like this could be a really big stepping stone for him. Okay. And so far from what we've seen, it is aiming to be in the right direction, and this can finally get Tom out of the trenches. Christian, your words. It's your
My thoughts. Okay, so
introductory words.
the movie's gonna be lit. I have no doubt in my mind the movie's gonna be lit. But there's just a couple things that are scaring me. But for the most part, it's gonna be a fire movie. It's gonna be almost everything every single Spider-Man man hopes for. The suit looks good. From what we've seen, the 8 minutes of content that we've seen,
Eight
it
minutes.
looks pretty good. All we've seen is 8 minutes as of July 29th, 2026. You've only seen 8 minutes of content from leaks and social media, and it looks pretty good. There's obviously a lot of stuff that we haven't seen because we're trying to dodge spoilers, but hey, so far so good. So far so good. But there are just a couple concerns. Um, my main one is we watched Daredevil Born Again. It's not really a main concern. It's just like a concern. He watched Daredevil Born Again. We watched Kingpin pretty much take over the city with his freaking task force, and Spider-Man was nowhere to be seen. So I don't know how the hell they're gonna make this work. I have no how they're gonna explain where the hell he was outside of just saying, "Oh, he was just fighting task force." To me, that's a huge cop out as to it's freaking Spider-Man, right? He should be in there with Dee Dee and Punisher dealing with the Kingpin, but hey, I guess they're gonna. He was gooning. That's all we know. He was actually gooning in his room while that whole stuff was happening. So that's a concern. Then of course the Jean Grey possibilities. You know, I mean, she's most likely in the movie, but we don't know what
Well,
roles he's gonna play.
Let's actually start with the Kingpin thing.
Okay.
I actually believe it is a, and like it doesn't, because I know we don't want to make it a big concern because you do know that there is like legal issues and right stuff that we don't really know, contractual stuff that happens behind the scene.
Yeah, I mean
But
that's the main
because
reason
we
as to
are
why.
centering
But
this around the fact that this is MCU, and they went out of their way to show Daredevil is in the MCU and Born Again is MCU canon, you can't just there's ways around it, and there definitely is because in season one they literally even referenced Spider. We didn't have to see a big action sequence of him coming in and fighting Kingpin or anything, or even the Task Force, him fighting Task Force. Because my prediction is that they're in the montage they're going to show him fighting Task Force. Why they didn't show that in the trailer, I don't know, but I think it's more just leave it out in the open. But it does leave us pretty salty because you do see him getting like the key to the city, and meanwhile Daredevil in prison looking top. So, but it's still their
even it was
duty to give us something to show
what the hell he was doing,
what was going
because
on during that,
because
right?
New York has had some events, and Thunderbolts freaking Sentry was taking over the damn New York City, and then now in Kingpin's taking over the city for 2 damn seasons, and Spider-Man is nowhere to be found. So it's a bad look on the hero of New York City. We don't know where the hell he's been in these last two insane moments, but I know it's more of a like rights thing. It's freaking Sony and the weird way that they have their weird relationship with the character. They don't like putting him in certain content because of rights and contractual stuff that we don't know about. But all I'm hoping is that they explain it correctly. And I think if he just have him fighting task force, that's a very cop out answer. But that's probably what they're going to do. It's not a major complaint. It's just like really, that's it. But yeah,
Next, you said Jean Grey.
Jean Grey, yes. I want to get your thoughts on this because you know more about the Jean Grey stuff than I do.
Well, I think my prediction now is that she's gonna be the weakest part of the movie. I should have took a bite while it was your turn. I think she's gonna be the biggest part of the movie. Throwing in the mutant stuff here when they're really starting the big shift in Marvels to add mutants and X-Men, and Spider-Man just has to be unfortunately, has to be the one to bear the task of being the movie right before Doomsday. So this is the last kind of setup they can have moving into this incursion multiverse nonsense. So it does kind of suck that had to fall into Spider-Man. That this phase was so underwhelmingly built up, and now they kind of have to force the content here. This is the last Marvel content we're getting until Doomsday in December. So
It's kind of
yeah,
sad to think
I'm
about it.
skeptical about that. Um, I don't know how heavy deep they're gonna play into it, because honestly, with how the trailers have been, like we saw 8 minutes, but for Jean Grey, we really do not. We have
Have
no
zero clue.
motivations. We
Zero clue.
have like we don't have anything about how much she's in the movie. It could be a plot twist, and her part really isn't as big of a deal as the trailer. They could be
That's probably
misleading
what
us,
I'm thinking of.
like
That's probably.
right, like
But
just because
I'll
they're
let you continue.
showing that, like I'm yeah, I think this is a thought we should put in our heads is that I think they're probably could be trying to diverge our attention from something else that they haven't shown us and making us think that the Sadie Sink thing is going to be such a big deal when possibly not even that big of a deal, probably, right?
Because we looked at all the trailers. We've seen the Hand, we've seen the Hulk, we've seen Punisher, and we've seen the mutations.
It's
Jean
fucking
Grey has nothing to do with any of those except for maybe the mutations. That's probably the only way I can, and I guess Hulk. That's one of the only. It can make sense. I just feel like it's super out of place for a Spider-Man movie. For an MCU, like for the full-scale MCU, this is more of a failure on their end of establishing the X-Men before Doomsday. So they had to figure out a way to squeeze Jean Grey into the most recent movie right before Doomsday, just because they didn't do it before. So because of Marvel's former faults, it's gonna affect Spider-Man, and I feel bad because Spidey needs something good because we just watched the last three movies. I don't think they were that bad, but I get why Marcel thinks the way
I
thinks
even
they're that
thought
bad.
about that. Yeah, so we just finished the trilogy rewatch, and honestly, watching Brand New Day trailer after watching these trilogies is just such like a whiplash. That trilogy, in my eyes, will never hold up. It will never be good. It was very harming for me to watch as a Spider-Man fan. Me personally, it was very harming. It was a form of self-harm that I went and watched those movies, but I do not regret it because it was very important to watch Tom's character grow, and finally get to see him grow up and you know,
Mature as a Spider
like
Man
yes,
because
like please. And that kind of does segue into yeah. I guess I don't want to trash on the trilogy too much right now.
I mean we
Even
can get
myself,
onto
I'll
that.
never forget how I feel about this trilogy. And now that I got to rewatch them all in the span of 2 to 3 days, it's like I got it in my brain. I feel like I was maybe a little larping with the hate. Maybe I was over hating
Oh,
these past couple years when I was thinking about it. But now,
at least
as
it's
of the
overhated
past week
Homecoming.
that I rewatched it, no, no, I stand tall. I stand tall on how I feel about those movies. I'm not even gonna get into it. I know how I feel about them, bro. I don't need to hear that. Like, um, but yeah, just the complete total vibe change. Like even the camera, I feel like they brought out a real camera for this, man. And I guess Watts had to work with COVID restrictions. That was only for
Oh,
one
one
movie though.
movie.
That was only for No Way Home. That
I mean, it wasn't
cannot
the worst. It
explain Far
was.
From Home. Far From Home is
It was.
also pretty.
Marvel was one of the, is pretty bad.
They has the Mysterio scenes, and the
Mysterio
for
scenes were
some
good.
reason
That
the
was
monsters actually didn't look terrible CGI, but I don't know.
the
It's but
Elementals.
his Spider-Man never really looked. He never really looked cool because of the goddamn suit mixed with the computer generated, where it doesn't look realistic at all. So um, so there's that.
Now, my only take on that is that I watched the three movies with more of Marcel. He's a more of an old school guy. He likes how Spider-Man is supposed to be, and I don't
Yes,
blame him
I'm very
because
old
that's
school.
how he's supposed to be. I don't blame him. Like if I was a diehard Spider-Man old school fan, I would hate these Tom movies more than anything because it pretty much disrespectful to the character of Spider-Man. But me, I'm more. I'm trying to see through his perspective. I wanted to see what they were going for and if they executed it right. I see what he was going for. He was going for a Spider-Man that wanted to be part of the Avengers and wanted to be grouped up with other superheroes and start looking up to them as mentors. That's why he looked up to Tony Stark half the movie. And then instead of learning the typical Spider-Man lessons through his story, he learns it through a different lens, different perspective from the Avengers point of view. So he ends up losing Tony. He ends up losing all the technology. He ends up losing his aunt because of mistakes that he has made, except for Thanos. But everything in these the Tom trilogy is mainly about him making huge mistakes and learning how to be a superhero because he does not know what the hell he's doing. And I gave him a lot of reprieve because he's a kid. Kids make mistakes. If I don't blame Tom Spider Man for looking up to Tony Stark because to me it makes perfect sense. But if I was a diehard Spider Man fan, I would die hard. I would generally hate the movies as much as Marcel does. But I see it through a different lens. I can see what they were going for. They failed. They were not good at what they did. But I see what they were going for. But so because it didn't really resonate. I mean, technically it made money. The movies made money. But for a more grounded, more realistic
And
Spider-Man
the
story where he's
ratings
a
are
grown
insanely
man,
high.
yeah, somehow. I mean, I like No Way Home more than you do, and I respect Homecoming, but Far From Home, I don't know what the hell they were thinking of that movie. It just looked good. Look at the Mysterio visuals, but they're giving Tom a fresh start. He's by himself. He has nobody. He literally has
His
nobody.
top man's his Punisher. Like this is goaded, bro.
This like even like OG Spider Man, they at least had somebody. Even Andrew had Gwen. Um, Toby had Aunt May. Andy had Harry for a movie. So he always has somebody in his corner until Brand New Day. He literally just has Frank Castle. None of the Avengers know who the hell he is.
Boy.
Yeah, he pretty much all he has is college and Spider Man. That's all Tom Holland has right now. And I do think he is deserving of the fresh start. And one thing that I refuse to believe from Marcel, he keeps saying this. I don't. Okay, it's not that I refuse to believe it. It's just that it's going to be very tough for me to truly believe that he's going to flip the script on how he sees Tom Spider Man. You have come around a lot. I'm not gonna act like you're I'm blind to what you're doing. You have come around a lot. It's just I watched all three of these movies with him, and the stuff I heard this man say about Tom, the stuff I heard this man say, I'm like, there is no way that Tom could come back from how he feels about this man. There's nothing.
A lot of it
I
has to
know
do
he
with
got
the
a
guys
reset.
writing the damn script,
I
and his
understand. I
reset
understand.
is
I
to
understand
such a
that.
level. It's not like it's not just they fixed the suit. It's not just the suit is fixed and it's still Watts doing some nonsense and some cringe baby stuff. But I really want you to pay attention to how I feel. I think the biggest change you'll notice, Christian, when you watch the movie tomorrow is think about the opening. I feel like also some of the weakest parts of the home trilogy. I think I know. The first 30 minutes of every movie is used wasting time making cringe MCU jokes and just totally misusing the time they have in the film, bro. I've noticed that's one of the biggest takeaways I've also gotten when rewatching this trilogy is that Watts uses the first 30 minutes of the movie absolutely horrendously. And I have a theory, bro. When that movie starts, when the first 30 minutes of the movie, I'm not gonna say this is boring, this is stupid, is a wasting time. I honestly feel like they're gonna get right into it, and this is gonna also just show the difference in writing. So it's not just if the suit was switched over and Watts is still doing the first 30 minutes of him gooning or something. It's gonna be him legitimately like getting into the story, getting updated on Spidey, and not just cringe. The first bit of No Way, like, could you agree that like his I understand, like, I guess for a lot of movies, you could like the middle and the end more. That's when more stuff's going on.
Oh yeah.
But there's does not. Did you realize like the way the first three movies of the trilogy started? They're like very like they're like standoutishly even more weak than the rest of the movie. Just straight up.
Oh
boring.
yeah, of
I
course.
think is the
But I
best way
mean,
I would describe it.
I think Far From Home is the biggest example. They were literally just wasting our time for the first half hour.
Yes,
I think for the
yes.
first like hour of Homecoming, nothing really mattered until Mysterio got the
Mm,
glasses. Nothing really mattered until Mysterio got the glasses in Far From Home. Until after he got the glasses, it was like
The
okay, it's
movie
actually
didn't
like
start
watchable.
until the villain started, until we learned, started doing
The plot
his
twist.
analog about his dialogue about, analoging, with his VFX squad about how, oh, this person did dirty here, I was did dirty here. That's when the movie started actually moving.
And that was like an hour in. Everything else,
Just like,
like the scene of Tom with the glasses on the bus, everybody agrees that's a
oh,
horrible
the
scene.
nukes thing,
That
like,
was a waste of time because that was you didn't need to do all that. Tom making stupid decisions, and then now for Homecoming, like I said, I am a huge defender of that movie because I understand everything about what's going on in the movie and why they
I
went the
just
way
hate
that
the
he did.
lack of urgency. I literally hate the lack of urgency and them turning his reveal, him getting exposed. I hate the secret identity thing being looked at as a meme. It really was looked at as a joke. I wish it was taken more seriously. Ned should not have went
No,
to school tomorrow. I would not have went to school tomorrow, bro. People literally just threw a brick at your window. And plus they think you're a terrorist and they just expose me for being your best friend. Bro, someone's gonna kill me.
and I
Am
never
I
disagree
wrong?
with
Is
that.
that a wrong?
No, I never disagree with that, Marcel. Only thing, okay,
That
okay.
problem
Only
with
thing
that one. So those are the first
I
two
did
start
disagree with one
boring.
thing.
The third movie starts with just the lack of urgency or taking the situation seriously at all. That's also a big. They just cannot take anything serious. Disney director, literally hired by Disney. I
So
think those
Marcel,
are
can you? Will
valid.
you,
Valid to say the lack of
yes, I'm not, I'm
urgency in
not,
that
I'm
No
not
Way
mad.
Home.
I'm
I
not
was
mad at that.
shocked to watch that when I was watching No Way Home because what we're watching the first time and we're just waiting. We were waiting for Spider-Man. We're waiting for Goblin. We're waiting for Ock. Okay, let's go. But when you're watching the beginning, I already know Ock and Toby are coming. I'm just like, why are they taking this so chill? Like, why is this like he's like sitting upside down reading a book. The next day, I'll move. Let's go to school. Like, what? What are we doing? Like it was a joke. What's the point of hiding your identity this whole time if like it gets exposed? You're like, okay, go to school. Like what? What was the point of hiding it this whole time then? If you didn't even think it was a big deal.
Hey, man. In any case, Calm got a fresh start. Back to brand new day stuff. Now when it comes to the mutation, me and Marcel talked about this in the past. How how long is this mutation going to last? Because if is he dealing with
Oh,
this
I
throughout the
forgot about
entire
this.
movie? Is he dealing with this throughout the entire movie? Like, because we don't really get to see him be real like normal Spider-Man outside of pre-mutation. Because the mutation, I'm guessing, happens like the end of the first act or the second act. I'm not entirely sure when the mutation is going to happen. But is this going to be like a long-lasting thing? Is this going to be a one movie thing? Like, how is this
I
going to work? We don't know.
definitely so that is a big thing. I was also thinking about which I forgot is like mostly about how they're gonna end off the mutation thing. Because I do think it's just gonna start. The movie's just gonna start with it. We'll catch up with what he's doing, and then all of a sudden we're gonna start seeing the spider sense get too strong. The webs are acting up, and like that hospital scene in the trailer. I'm sure those are all gonna happen. Everything I just listed is gonna happen in the first 30 minutes, I assume. Um, Notice how we're already laying down the plot. Right? Okay, there you go. So I think all that's gonna happen in the first 30 minutes of those mutations. I don't think it's gonna hold him back for the rest of the movie at all. Now I don't think then the swinging and all that stuff where he's messing up. I don't think it'll happen too long. Which also means I think that scorpion scene where he freaks on him also happens. I think in the first around 30 minutes as well. So I think my thing with the mutations after this point, I don't have a problem with that, right? My problem is afterwards, where it's one how they're gonna resolve it, if they're gonna connect it to a two, if they're gonna connect it to like an overall lesson of him needing to like slow down the Spider-Maning and actually have like a Peter Parker life. That's two, and three, how they literally resolve it, the mutation problem, and how is that gonna affect um what was it? What was I talking about the first time? Like Like, is it just gonna get stopped with like a shot or something? Like, or how are they gonna progress it onward if it's stay like is it gonna be permanent? Like, it's just how they're
We
gonna
don't
resolve
know.
that as well too. I don't.
It's a
What I do
very big
think is that I
mystery.
think there's zero shot of Man Spider. I don't think there's any chance we're getting the full mutation into Man Spider. That's just disturbing. I don't think they're gonna do that.
I feel like it has to have a lasting impact. I don't know if it's gonna be a thing throughout the entire like trilogy. Maybe this movie and the next, or Secret Wars, because we know there's one thing we do know: Spider-Man's not in Doomsday. So something happens in this movie to why he's not in that movie. I mean, we didn't see it in the
I don't
trailer.
want to say he has zero scenes. I would say he's definitely not getting the big camera. They have so many characters. He's definitely not being the main focus of it. I think he might like appear, but I don't think he's gonna be anything worth a big deal. I'm thinking like 5 minutes worth or something, right? Where he comes in at the end or something, right? I don't think,
Because
but he's
Secret
definitely
Wars is
not a
supposed to be
main
his movie.
character. Secret Wars, he's gonna be a little bit more circling in the main cast, yeah. But I I, I don't know about what you're saying with Doomsday.
I, I'm trying
I'm
to
not
say is the
sure. No,
mutation's gonna
I
have
no, I
a
understand what you're
lasting
saying, but I don't
impact.
know if it's gonna. I'm trying to think about how much I want to believe this movie is gonna tie into his portal in Doomsday, because
I mean,
he's
that's
not
something
in
that's just a
Doomsday
theory.
as much. I don't even want to talk about what, because then we're just getting into like post credit scene stuff, and I don't even.
We don't know. That's something. Like, this is all just theories. We really don't know. It's just speculation.
Uh,
Now the only thing that I'm a little concerned about is how. Okay, another thing I'm concerned about is in the home trilogy. One of the biggest issues with the movies is that the side characters don't really do anything. They aren't really characters. They're just kind of just like his buddies. Like they're cool people, but we don't really get
they're just
anything about
walking Reddits. I
like
am
Aunt
not gonna
May.
lie. Overall, with Ned though, I actually
You
do
like
not have.
Ned,
I
yeah.
actually kind of don't feel like I have a problem with Ned.
Is it because he's kind of like
Like
Joe?
having one Ned is fine, but then they should have really harped more back in on Zendaya, like being an actual character. He's one of the
Yeah,
worst Spider-Man love interests of all time, which is a shame because they got this man obsessed with her, bro. But
the romance is very poorly developed, and then in No Way Home they're pretty much obsessing with each other. So, and it literally happened like a week after. So I don't even know. But I just want them. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they can't just make these side characters just kind of gags anymore. Like if you're gonna take the movie seriously, then
especially
everything
if
has
they're
to be
bringing
taken
them back,
seriously.
yeah, please.
Like
What is
I was not
your
a fan of bringing them back, but because I wanted him to have, if they're gonna go fully grounded, I wanted them to go back to like genuine Spider-Man characters. I wanted Harry back. I wanted Harry back. But if we're not gonna get that, at least make the characters he does have like have be a character at least. Not saying be an insane character, just be like important in their own right. But yes, continue what you were saying.
any thoughts or predictions or wants for Hulk in general in this movie?
Hulk. So one thing we did notice in the home trilogy is that he's always had some sort of MCU Avenger to talk like to as his mentor. He had that in every single one of these movies, except for Far From Home, and that movie is horrible.
Well, Nick Fury. That was supposed to be Nick Fury
That
was
was
the
like
one.
Nick
Nick
Fury.
Fury was
I guess
the
Nick.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know because he's a kid, but he's a grown man now. He needs to be on his own. So he goes to Hulk about this mutation and how to like regulate it. I'm assuming. I don't know. I don't want to say anything incorrect.
No,
I
I
don't
feel
want him
like
to
that's
look up to
exactly
him
what
as
he
a.
was doing. He literally was
I don't
asking
want
him
him to
about
look up to him as a
genetics.
mentor. I do not want him to look up to him as a mentor. I just need him to be the physical embodiment of. That's hard to. I'm trying to think of the way. What he is in the trailer is exactly what I want him to be. Just somebody that's getting in the way. I don't explain like what I want without sounding brain dead. But I feel like in the trailer they're pretty much showing exactly what I want out of Hulk in this movie. I'm sure he has more to do with the story, obviously because he's one of the people that are centered around the mutations. It's probably like the one area avenue of the movie I don't have. I don't really. It's hard for me to explain exactly what I want out of him without sounding brain rot. So I feel like this is more of a you thing. Because and also one thing is that okay. One thing I will say is Hulk has been a fish in all of his movies except for in all of his recent MCU movies. In Ragnarok, in I mean, Infinity War and Endgame, Hulk didn't really do anything.
He's looking scary
So
here.
so and now right now we've seen him
His
in the trailer.
design
In the
looks
trailer, get
legitimately scary.
he actually looks scary, but he is still
looks
getting fried by Spider-Man.
Bigger.
He is getting fried by
He is getting
Spider-Man. We
fried.
should see that.
I do want to say, I really want, not necessarily for his Spider-Man to lose, because I'm not sure how he would lose without them both losing, and it's a win. If they both lose, it's a win for him. If he only loses himself, then Hulk kind of kills everybody. So I kind of, there's no real shot of him straight up getting a loss here, because then I think Hulk just rampages and kills everybody. But I kind of want like I want that freak out sequence to happen where like oh no exactly wait I was waiting for a reference, thinking of a reference so bad, and the last time we did see it I just came to my head, it was already Daredevil in season 2. Remember when he gets beat up in episode 2 or something like that in the in Cherry's house?
That was episode 1. That was episode 1.
That was a no it wasn't like that episode 1.
That was episode 1.
Was it really?
I believe it was episode 1.
Friday, bro. Yo, he got beat up episode 1. Are you sure?
Yeah, Friday. Yeah, I remember because Bullseye showed up at the end. Yep, that was definitely episode 1. Episode 1.
Holy chud. Okay, but it was the yo, you know when he was fine, right? And he got that first hit and they do the slow-mo of his head hitting the ground. I want it to be just like that, where he gets hit hard and he like bounces off
Yeah,
the floor in slow motion, and it's like, yo, man, this is not funny no more.
This ain't a game, bro.
Yeah,
I'm fighting to
not
survive.
funny.
Like, remember when Pierce
And
said,
then
"This
he,
ain't no game. You're fighting to
Yeah.
live." It's
He's something exactly like that, and then he locks it in or whatever, and then you see him flipping and beat him up more, right? But I kind of want something like that. I want them to show like if the scene just goes normally and he's like flipping on him and eventually stops him without showing and the only scariness of Hulk they show is like is visually, like just his appearance, that would suck. They need to have him get hit hard and where it's like, holy, like, bro, if I take one more of those, I die. I want to be like, yeah, if I get hit like that one more time, I'm literally dead. I'm literally dead. That's what I'm really hoping from the Hulk state. If that doesn't happen, I will be disappointed. I'm setting myself up for disappointment. But just please don't make it seem, because right now they make it seem like right now it's a little jokey how they have Hulk. They show, like we said, we've seen him just beating him up. And 2, we even have him just making jokes. We have Punisher there. He's just like, you just don't want to fight the Hulk. They make it really lighthearted, which is fine to start.
I mean, it's
But then
kind of funny.
after he gets that first hit, then I want it to be like, yeah, this is not funny anymore.
This
Like,
is not
it's
funny,
really
bro.
not funny.
I gotta lock the hell in, bro. This is I'm about to die.
Yeah. Like, I want it to legitimately be like, if I get hit again, it's over. But so that's
okay.
what I'm for. Literally, I don't even need him to contribute to the plot or anything. I don't know if he gets him. He turns him back to Banner, and I don't know what he does with him. Throws him in Punisher's basement. Told the movies. I don't care after that. I don't really care what happens to Hulk. And I guess
So just a quick question before you get off of Hulk. I don't know. Do you remember the Age of Ultron fight with Hulkbuster and Hulk? If you remember that fight, if Hulk acts like that in this movie, is that what you want? Because he was tweaking in that fight. He was pissed the hell off.
Yeah, it looks like that's what's gonna happen here. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, because they were going around the whole city. I think they're definitely gonna keep this in. Notice how racist that is, because I can guarantee you the Hulk fight stays in that building. I know they're breaking that. They pretty much destroy that skyscraper in their fight. But meanwhile, when they're in another country, they have him blowing up the whole city.
He was literally running around the city.
What I'm telling you, that fight
buildings.
If that fight leaves that building, I will be shocked. But they're not gonna have to do that in New York City. They're racist as hell. So that's why they're not gonna have him play. That's why I'm saying that the best way to show it the fear factor is have him get a serious hit. He literally gets hit in the trailer, but he just slams him into the wall. No, bro, punch him, whatever. But So that's Hulk. The Hand, I don't have anything crazy to say about the Hand. They're literally just zombie minions. W fodder choice though. W fodder
W
choice.
fodder choice.
W.
Now there is a couple things I want that we did talk about in the past. One, you mentioned how his mask was off in that fight. Did you still have a problem with that, or did you come around
I don't
to
have a
like,
problem that his
okay,
mask is off. I was just confused that I was just more confused of how his face is bloody and his suit has no damage, right?
oh that too.
That's what I was confused about. I'm like,
So
what? They
maybe they're
only
hiding the
punched you in the
damage.
face, bro? That's great. You only got hit in the head? Come on, bro. That's the most important part. What are you doing? Honestly, that just
And
made me think about something. It makes me think maybe no, that wouldn't make sense either. I was going to say maybe something had to have happened before the prison. That could also be why he's extra
that could be
grid
true.
in the hand. Like he had to just fight someone else. I'm thinking maybe he just fought. Maybe this is right after the Hulk scene. Blood is
Just goes
tired.
into the prison.
Blood
Now,
is
another thing that we
tired. I
did
mean,
talk about is the possibility of Dee being in the movie.
so I was gonna go into that
Uh,
after the hand.
yes. Is Dee how high of a chance do you think Daredevil is in the movie?
I'm not setting my expectations high for. I won't be salty if he's not in it. They do what I will say if they probably will find a reason for him to go to the prison and do all that. That's totally unrelated to Daredevil. There's no way that's all because Daredevil. They legitimately showed us a prison. We all watched Born Again. So I think they're misleading us with that. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna set my expectations low. I will say that the prison stuff is all totally unrelated. He goes there for a completely different plot reason. But the Hand being in the
It
prison,
makes too
come
much. It makes too perfect
on.
sense. It
The
literally makes
Hand in
the
the
perfect
prison.
sense. Dee
Why
gets
are they
arrested at
there?
the end of Born Again, and the same ops that was in season 2 come to get him. They're not finding out he's in jail. Yes, that makes the most sense I've ever heard in a movie,
It
bro.
doesn't make sense, but why would they
And of
show
course,
that
Spider-Man knows
though?
Dee. He knows him. We just saw No Way Home. He
He does
knows
know
Matt
him,
Murdock.
yeah.
So it's not like
Why would he show him though? Why would they?
like then
I would not. I personally would not have because that's such a big deal. I would not have showed the Hand in prison. I would not have showed that. I would have did like the fake thing. I would have showed that. Remember
like
when the
CGI in the
leaked trailer
background.
came out? And I don't know if you remember the pose. It's on the screen. But the when he's jumping at the Hand and the Hand is jumping at him, and it's
Like
outside.
midair. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
midair outside,
outside. Do
yes.
you remember how in the leaked trailer that was indoors? It was in. I don't know if you remember, but it was in a yellowish
I don't
room. It was like a yellow tint light room. And
I'm
then
not
in the
sure. I
trailer was
only remember the prison. I
in the
only remember the
trailer
prison,
was
the outside
outside,
one.
right? I would have changed that background. I would have changed the background, like I said. I would have been like that outside thing. I would not have even let you guys know it was in the prison. You guys seeing the Hand is already gonna make you think of Daredevil. So I'm like, okay, that's enough. That's all you guys. Okay, you see the Hand. There you go. Think about Daredevil. The prison and the Hand.
Like
Okay. Like I think
that's
that's
too
way too
perfect.
on the nose. I don't. I think it's gonna be their completely different reason. Not even gonna bring up Daredevil.
That's gonna be such a like buzzkill. Like damn, like in the prison and the Hand and Punisher's in the movie, and you don't have Daredevil. Like come on,
Man, and
this is
like
a
we
gross
said, we already
grounded
know
Spider-Man
Daredevil
movie.
would just sit in the prison anyway.
I know. Okay. And one last thing for me is that from the trailers, we have no idea who the main antagonist is in this movie. We've seen Scorpion, we've seen the Hand, we've seen the Hulk, and we know that Tombstone is in the movie. That's it. We don't know any. Like, is Tombstone the main op? We don't know who the main antagonist in this movie
There
is.
might
So
what if there's not even a main op?
there is no main
People
antagonist,
were
just him
saying
fighting the
the I
mutation.
forgot what they said about the end is that it was not they didn't use the word controversial, but I don't know if it's gonna follow the same formula. I don't know if there's gonna be a main villain at all.
I mean, that's fine. We're all kind of confused. It's like, what? How is this gonna end? How is,
I
like,
can't believe we
what's
watch
the
this
end point?
tomorrow. Oh my god!
Yes, we watched this literally in like 14 hours. No, 26 hours.
Okay. Um. Yeah. What else do I need to hit? I mean, with Ned and Zendaya, it is what it is. I mean, they brought him back, so whatever. I mean, I kind of feel better because I kind of like Ned a little more now. Zendaya, we just gotta pretend that's their day one, I guess. So, Uh, in terms of twist, I something's coming, but I could not tell you. I'm gonna be interested because we'll talk about it. We won't have time to talk about it and uh make a video, but until Friday night, our our review. Um, but I can't think of anything. And then on our review, be able to think if we would have been able to predict that or not. But right now, I don't even really have predictions. I guess it's for like you're saying antagonist like Tombstone, or is it a character we're supposed to have absolutely nothing to know about? Like we don't know at all. Like uh, yeah, I don't
We
know.
don't.
Maybe like
This is
Mr.
just
Negative's controlling people, and it's not even Sadie. I think we all Sadie's Jean Grey. I'll put yeah, 100% for sure. Right. I'm not gonna regret saying that, right?
the pro block me. Sorry. Random stuff.
Is Sadie being Jean Grey? 100%. Logging that in,
Maybe.
or are we gonna
I
look
think
down?
yeah, she
Are we
is.
gonna
She
look
is
down
Jean
tomorrow?
Grey. She is Jean Grey. I feel like she's a redhead. I feel like she kind of fits that personality. Like I can see her act like it. Like it's just I just see it. And it's kind of like
Goes along with the
obvious.
reboot of them, hiring younger people
Yeah.
for the X-Men
Plus,
roles.
like it makes sense. So yeah, I would bank that she is Jean Grey. Otherwise, I don't know what role she plays in this movie. I don't know who Sadie Sink is supposed to be. So,
If I wanted to give a
um, man,
brain rot MCU prediction,
MJ.
uh,
I know, I'm playing around.
Peter dies, and then in Secret Wars they have him. This is what I said on Twitter. Secret Wars Doom resurrects him with the symbiote, and then they do the panel from Craven's Hunt of him coming out the grave in the symbiote suit.
Symbiote.
There's my brain
I mean,
rot prediction. I like that. Only
we
thing I
did
can come
we
up with is
did
a brain rot prediction. I can't even come up with like a honest. I
like a
really
legitimate
don't
like
even.
film production.
I don't even know what. Where do we go? Where do we go? What do I know? I know these like. I don't know anything because I also said I also don't think we've seen anything. I think Hulk is the latest thing we've seen in this movie, and then after that, like we've seen nothing for the third act. So I honestly could not tell you. I have nothing because I don't have anything to predict. What am I predicting? I don't know what's gonna happen. I
We
guess
don't know.
what happens. What because the only question we have is I guess Sadie Sink's role, as in even if she's Jean Grey, where do we go from that?
I think that's just a lead
Obviously,
into Doomsday. That's it.
Peter's gonna probably befriend her by the end. I think Punisher is just a guy along for the ride. Scorpion, I think, is just the jobber. Hand is just minions to give Spider-Man clips. Hulk's there to fulfill that MCU contract, and we get to see someone else beat him up. Um, so the only things that are left out in the open is like
The mutation.
the mutation. What we do, where we go with that. Um, he's probably gonna
Movie looks lit
find a
though.
way to control it. It's probably because you know how overpowered characters are. Jean Grey also can never control her damn powers herself. He can't control his powers. It's probably gonna be some kind of like I said earlier, some related to the plot thing of like becoming a good person and having friends and having someone to rely on to help, having a shoulder to
Having
lean
a
on. That's your thing.
corner.
Having a shoulder to
Having
lean
a
on. Jean
corner
Grey, you don't have to. Yeah, having a corner because that's what Peter doesn't have. That's why his
right
powers are
now.
tweaking. I think he's gonna relate to that with Jean Grey. And I think also that's the analogy of Hulk being in the movie as well. He's also someone who can't control his powers as well. Like all three of those people can't control their powers, and all their powers are also affected by how they're feeling. Boom, there you go. I mean, so there's the nuance to those three being in the movie together, right? Right. I'm on to something
I
with
guess
that.
so.
All three of these guys can't control their powers. Jean Grey's Phoenix is OP, so of course she can't control her powers. And she's like probably
Ridiculously OP.
like a kid. She's still young, so it's like yeah. Um, there, I just called the plot, or at least the
Do you think we'll
message.
see? Do
The
you think
message.
we'll see
That's
any
the
other X Men
message.
in the movie?
Other other
I don't think so.
mutants.
Other mutants.
Uh,
Because remember, this
maybe
is
if
still leading up to Doomsday. This is
Jean,
literally
I
right before
think
Doomsday.
maybe one Jean Grey knows. Maybe she's like protecting someone else, protecting another kid.
Rogue.
Yo, yo. If they were able to hide something like that, I'd be surprised. That's what I'm saying. Because also I'm thinking about how much could they have hit. Because I honestly have not seen any spoilers. I feel like I know we just blocked everything out, but we blocked them out pretty late. If anything, we blocked them out yesterday, the day before. I have not seen any huge spoilers. I'd be really surprised if they were able to keep a lot of this plot under wraps. Maybe that's why I think the Jean Grey thing is just a huge diversion. Everyone's so focused on Jean Grey and Sadie Sink. I think that like there's something bigger they're probably hiding. But then in the back of my head, I'm just thinking, could they have gotten away with it for this long? I mean, I guess they did with Endgame and all that, right? So I mean, they can, right? They got away with it in Infinity War. They killed everyone, and then people went in blind still, right?
That is true.
So maybe then I shouldn't doubt them. They probably.
That's kind of crazy to say.
I think
but
Sadie's. I mean, Infinity War and Endgame.
I know Infinity War. I know what you're saying.
Hide stuff,
I know
right?
it's just like.
I think that really does confirm. I think Sadie Sink is just the big diversion. They'll probably figure out she's Jean Grey not late into the movie.
The movie's 2.5 hours long, right? Or like 220. So.
But
hey, man.
Yeah,
okay.
I already got what. Well, say your thing. I'm about to conclude with my conclusions.
Yeah, I'm almost done. So all I'm saying is, okay, because this is the last movie before Doomsday, and obviously they have to like get to like what the hell is happening in Doomsday. Obviously, I'm not saying this movie is gonna be like a precursor to that, but they have to like somewhat show what the hell is gonna happen in Doomsday. So how much do you think is that gonna take away from the Spider-Man stuff? Obviously, it's not gonna be much, but
like the whole mutant stuff.
I think it's be, like just because Doomsday is happening, literally the next movie. It has to this movie has to show something.
I don't think it'll take too much away from it. I think, but it will do is I think at the end of it, I'm just gonna say the movie would have been better off without mutants. I'm still standing on that, but I have faith that it's not gonna detract too much. I have faith. Or that they probably just get to do both at the same time. I don't think it's gonna impact it too much. I just think that the post-credit scene is probably going to be. If I were to guess how much, it would have impacted the post-credit scene more. I think the post-credit scene would have. I feel like it's going to be not so relevant to Spider-Man, and just more for Doomsday. You get what I mean? I feel like that's probably the most the most detrimental impact it'll have is that the post-credit scene has nothing to do with Tom, probably.
That's fine. That doesn't.
I think it would just be I don't know another shot of Doom.
If it's just the post credit scene, then that's fine. I just want to know if whatever happened, however they're gonna transition from this to Doomsday is gonna have an impact on Spider-Man's story, and I hope it doesn't. But they have to because Doomsday is still up in the air. We don't know what the hell is about to happen, and they have to somewhat lead into that just a little bit. Thor Ragnarok did that. Thor Ragnarok did that. It led into Infinity War immediately.
I hope they give him the classic symbiote suit in Thicker War so bad. I want it's the classic one, bro. Please, with the no lines, just the white spider in the front and the back, and the white squares on his wrist or the top of his wrist. I hope it's the classic suit. Do not give us some slimy alien goo Insomniac one. And don't pull a Raimi where you just put the black over this costume. No,
I mean, that was clean. That was clean, though.
No, it is. I'm not. Yeah, no, fire. But don't copy it. Do the actual symbiote suit now. There's supposed to be more Sparking Zero news in October. They're gonna keep charging us $30 every year, I guess.
Is what it is. But I think I said my piece. One thing I am hyped for is that they got the Shang-Chi. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Shang-Chi. We didn't talk about freaking Naruto. Why is Kishimoto a part of this movie, bro? That's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Finding out Kishimoto had something to do with this movie is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. How in the hell did they get the Naruto creator, who doesn't come out for anything, to pop out for a Spider-Man? That might be one of the biggest clout I've ever seen in my life. Getting a mangaka to come out to help with the Spider-Man movie with the hand ninjas in it. The combat's the action's gonna be great. They got the Shang-Chi guy and they got the Naruto guy. The action's gonna be great. But that's all I gotta say. I just wanted to bring that up because that happened. Yeah, that's it. You
But
can have your concluding thoughts.
yeah, I think the movie's not going to be lower than a 7, which is phenomenal. Given I think the highest Tom movie is a 5, but Homecoming. I think I'm real. I expect. I think I'm really gonna like this movie. Um, I think I'm gonna walk out definitely satisfied. I'm definitely gonna cry. Definitely gonna be giggling. I'm definitely gonna be
I'm gonna see him
geeked out.
tweak out. I
I'm gonna be
cannot
tweaking.
wait to see him tweak in my seat.
I'm
He
gonna be
is going
tweaking.
to be next to me wildin', and I cannot wait to see that. His popcorn, big old gooey belly,
Yes, I'm
mad
bringing
all out.
food. I'm bringing popcorn. Gonna try and
He's
get
getting his
the.
sleep. He getting
Yeah,
his
I'm getting to
sleep.
sleep before my schedule's fine. I don't gotta work it till Friday till 11. It's gonna be.
Bro got he got his
It's gonna be
glasses. He
good.
can see the
I
movie
got my
now.
man. I got my glasses. It's gonna be good. Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's also a good
I've
thing.
said
I
my
kind
thoughts.
of do. I actually do prefer this, where I feel like I have no
We have
idea
no
of
idea.
what to predict as well. I kind of do like this feeling as well too. I not knowing if there's a main villain at all is pretty good too. I think it's a good formula switch up after seeing after what we've had. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm just trying to enjoy this last moments too, because this is like I don't know, the next time we're a day away from a new Spider-Man movie, it could be another long time, right? So just
Yeah,
very enjoying this nice hype little
anticipation.
couple months and weeks down. We've gotten down to the final day,
This is it.
seeing it online, even though I have everything muted. But it is very nice feeling to have something to look forward to like this. So very. So I was also going to be a little sad when it comes to an end, especially when the hype has died down like a month later, and it's like, damn, like that was good, and now it's like gone. I mean, we'll have in reward you get the movie forever, but it's also just like having some dopamine anticipation is always nice for you. But yeah, that's it. Spider-Man. Christian,
Oh, I've said my thoughts.
what do you think you're going to
That's so
end up
fun.
rating the movie?
Honestly, an 8. I'm just concerned about the characters. Like that's one of
Wait,
my main concerns.
if anything, DJ Burger over here, this is probably going to be one of the best movies. If they did, I'm telling you, if you like the Home trilogy, I'm probably jealous of you guys, bro. Because you guys are got to see some
I can
real
find
stuff,
enjoyment in the
and this
trilogy.
stuff
I
is
can
about.
find like
Randy's probably going to blow all the Tom babies' minds, actually. And I didn't even think about that. People you like Far From Home? Yo,
yeah. A lot of people are saying they actually like the movie.
this
I've seen that
movie
on Twitter.
is going to blow your brain. Then, or maybe we're gonna see Watts babies not like it because it wasn't joking enough, or they probably like the action. There's too much action, or there was why is this suit not CGI? Or I don't know.
I don't think there's Watts stands. They're just people who just like the Home trilogy. I don't think there's John Watts stands.
But okay, I've said all I got to say. I'm ready. Christian, you done? Anything you want to say in the
I'm
books?
finished. I said everything I want to say. We are Spider-Man.
Okay. We will return after our viewing of Spider-Man: Brand New Day.